Our shtetl, Torisk, was founded in the year 1094 by Jewish families. It existed for 840 years. There was a thriving Jewish life and culture in the heart of the forest on the banks of the Turia River. But only until 1942, when the Nazis invaded. Together with the Ukrainians, they killed all the Jews. The night of the massacre, the town was burnt down by a group of Jewish youth. This is why none of the houses remain today. We walked the empty streets, trying to find the location of our homes. At that time, several older Ukrainian women told us about a young boy who, on the day of the massacre, escaped the grave pit and ran into the forest. He was saved by the Ukrainians and then joined the partisans. They had heard that he went to the States and had become wealthy. When we returned to Israel, we finally found the young boy, the only survivor of Torisk. He was well known in the States and in Israel for his generosity. I called him and told him of our visit to the mass grave and its shocking state. I asked if he could help in the restoration, and Sam answered, "Yes, I will cover the costs. Go, do it." He was crying.
The angels were afraid to make noise, and his father
On September 1st, 2000, the Boimel family and a group of descendants from Israel went to Torisk. The ceremony was by the mass grave. It was raining, as if the heavens were crying with us. Some Ukrainian citizens participated, as well as the mayor of the new Torisk. We were all excited when Sam told his story of survival.
I'm original Tujisk and then Yiddish is Torisk.
Sam saw some human bones on the grave. He collected them and took them to Cincinnati to bury them there. We went to the village of Stavsky to look for the Petrov family who saved Sam. We were told that the granddaughter of Petrov's daughter was getting married. We went to the house. There were a lot of guests and music. Petrov's daughter embraced Sam, and both of them began crying. Sam gave a nice present, toasted l'chaim, and promised to see them again. The next day, we went to Shtetl Ozerani, where Rachel and her family had lived. It had rained for several days, and the roads were covered with mud. When we arrived, we were met by several residents who did not know about the Jews, but Rachel and Menachem recognized the place where their families had lived. We went to the hill of the mass grave of the Jews of Ozerani, to the place where the Jews were brought to. They were shot. They fell into the ditches. They were covered up with no trace. On the top of the hill was a small tombstone made of concrete. On the tombstone had most likely been a bronze sign, but it was stolen. We all stood around the Boimel family. Menachem prayed and said Kaddish. We were told by the guide about a very big burial place on a high hill. On the top there was a statue to memorialize all the victims. We stood weeping and praying. From the top of the hill, Rachel showed us the muddy road that the Jews were forced to walk to their deaths. She recognized the point at which she had left the convoy and ran away. A Ukrainian militiaman shot into the air so she could escape. On the way back, we all discussed how to preserve the memory of Ashtetelech for our children and the coming generations, especially since our ancient Torisk does not exist anymore. Sam agreed to donate for this purpose. The institution Moreshet agreed to make the ancient shtetl Torisk an example of the hundreds of shtetlach which were exterminated by the Nazis. It was to be named the Sam and Rachel Boimel Museum and Center for Research and Holocaust Studies. Rachel and Sam donated a very generous sum for this project. The museum was opened on the Holocaust Memorial Day in 2008. Rachel and Sam Boimel cut the ribbon. In attendance were 96 descendants living in Israel, the management of Moreshet, the head of the regional council, the mayor of the city of Nahariya, and the minister of education of the Israeli government.
I was 8 years old, and I'm not going in too much. I want just go to the last day when they killed all the Jews.
I want to thank all of you that came.
As of today, the museum is becoming a living center for pupils, youth, students, teachers, soldiers, and researchers of the shtetl before and during the war. The management of Moreshet Institute and the Torisk Descendants Organization will continue to make all possible efforts to secure the continuation of the museum's activities.